improve the Battle.net system.
Good point.
Yeah, but you know what?
Don't get me started on the real money
better.
auction house and what it means for farmers. Please don't get me started.
Yeah, it was so much better in Warcraft. They took a step backwards. Everybody knows it. We'll cover that with with
sounds good.
Sundance. So moving on, can we get Diamond? Is he done with?
I'll check. In the meantime, do you want to talk about APM?
No, I refuse to touch on this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of a whatever.
I'm not even going to justify.
I just found it hilarious.
The only time
funny.
I really appreciated APM is when Losira's keyboard didn't work at the Columbus MLG,
my
so
God.
his APM was 100 and something on his mouse only. That's when I was like, well, good thing we know APM.
Control was like, yeah, you know, you think you're doing good, you think you're okay, and then you find out he was just playing with his mouse. Like, that's silly. Silly Losira.
I'm excited because I'm actually over 100 APM now with the current APM, so I'm curious to see what I am like with the old APM.
That's good.
I'm going to feel pro.
Well,
about it.
if you had SC2 gears, I mean, you'd...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I never really checked it. I could, but...
I can't wait to talk about the next thing on the list, which is the maps. And if anybody that watches the show regularly, you guys know, or most of you download the show, you guys know that I love map making. Simpatico and I fell in love with it when I was asked to cast Map of the Month #7 with Bitter, and never looked back, really. It was how we met iGrok. You know, really, we spent Simpatico and I probably spent an hour on the phone with him the first day we met. Like, man, this is amazing. And Grok was sharing all this information on maps and the map community.
We were blown away.
Yeah, we were blown away. Like, there's so much. And I refuse to go into the editor because I don't want to go down that path. Like, ever. You know, that's like Pandora's box for Tumbo. We don't touch it. So let's let the pros stay with the pros. You guys have all seen my work in MSN Paint. Or MS You can imagine.
By the way, plug that Twitter background of yours.
Oh God, yes.
No. Okay. So Apollo is amazing. While we're waiting for Diamond to come on, who does ESV.
The Apollo and Beastie Cutie are like they have so. I wrote them both personal letters, but I'll let you.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I actually had a little overlay on my Twitter background that had Apollo's coaching address, and if I tweeted it, I'm like, Apollo has to be like, why is this idiot putting this on? Like, why is this moron putting this on his Twitter? Why does he have my coaching? And it's because, Apollo, I love you, man. Like, you first of all, the tutorials that you took the time to do for new players is great, right? Because it helps new players. It's so important to casting and so important to esports and keeping esports fresh with new people. If the game's less frustrating for beginners, the more likely they'll stay around. If they stay around, they'll be introduced to show matches and maybe get to start to like watching it. So that's awesome. You don't stop there, though. You did something I've been asking why has nobody done this? Why has nobody else gone? And if you have, I'm sorry I haven't seen it. Get a new map that's coming out in the map pool and go over it. Grok, have you seen this, what he's done?
Oh, yeah. I saw
God.
those. It was great. It was exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah, he did Core Hall and he did ESV Cloud Kingdom. And it was amazing. Like, I know Simpatico fell asleep to it because I fell asleep to it. That YouTube.
The only other person who's done this really is ESV Prodigy.
He casted today.
Right. And but that's because like he's one of the few mappers. A lot of mappers are actually kind of introverted in my experience, and so they don't like doing the whole streaming, making videos sort of stuff. So the only person that I can think of who's done that has been Prodigy before this, and then D Apollo comes in. He's got a much bigger following, and it's just even better.
Yeah, and In Control touched on it too. Like he said, he made the point. He says, I have to kind of, and he did it on Stimcast too. And he said he was on various outlets, and he said, maps, an international map pool, and it's tough because you don't get to play them. But now he's like, no, it'll reward me if I practice on a certain map tournament setting or a certain, rather, when I say setting, I don't mean physical setting. I mean group of maps. Right? I've got this map set for this tournament. I've got maps A, B, C, and D, and I know they're in this tournament. I'm going to practice these because they're going to be in this tournament. So what Apollo's done, though, has been great. I put it on my Twitter background. I do have a new Twitter background. Simpatico, I don't know why you want to make a big deal of this. Oh, I know why. Okay.
Because of the OP mutas.
Right, I'm getting to that. So basically...
Scumbag mutas.
Scumbag mutas. So yeah, Simpatico is awesome with the old MS Paint, unlike I am, and he added the scumbag hat and the old OP swinging charm around the neck, which the only way it would have been better was gold. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out at Tumba SE, you can check out the background. And if you want one, Simpatico will make you one for free. He promises.
The backstory behind this is actually the funniest because Tumba's like, I need a new Twitter background. Mine sucks. It doesn't say Stim. It doesn't say MLG. Whatever.
Yeah,
So it was Sunday.
Whoa! It didn't suck. It was Game of Thrones.
Right. Okay, well, whatever. It wasn't StarCraft related. Whatever. So he hits me up and it's like Sunday or whatever. I have to go see family and things. So I'm like, I had a generic Twitter background that I'd made for Stim TV, and it had the Marine on the left side, was Tychus Finley, and like this Mutalisk background on the right. Like, literally the two units that Tumba hates the most. And I didn't even think about it. I was just like, whatever. I have this already made. I just sent it over, and he's just like, what the fuck are you doing to me?
I'm gonna have nightmares.
He just literally like raged on Skype for like 10 minutes, whatever.
God.
It was.
I am not good enough.
That's where the OP thing came from.
I am not good enough to play Terran or Zerg. And the way I sold you on it, all of my Terran friends and all the Protoss can agree on one thing. Fuck the Mutalisk. Like, we can both say it now. Like, it's 100%.
Terran and Protoss high-five each other. Too, when they
Yes,
see each
there's
other
all
about
kind
that.
of high fives going on with T and P against Z. So I'm not good enough to play either race, man. Like, you need a lot of APM and good decisions with Terran once you get to the drop stage of the game after the first 15 minutes. And it's, like I said, you're on a timer, and Zerg fucking larva injects and taking 20 bases. Hell, I don't want to take more than 2 bases. You get me on 3 base, good luck. So, but we do have Diamond ready. He doesn't have video, but that's okay.
Let me see if I can add him in.
He may not be ready yet, actually.
I'm going to have to fix the overlay here.
Travis, what's your thoughts on the Mutalisk while we wait?
I don't know. I get pissed off too fast with, like, because I know it's coming and I know when it's coming, and I'm like, 10 minutes, I need turrets. I'm like, all right, cool. I get down to like 3 turrets. They blow through my 3 turrets. It's like, all right, cool. Or they just like, they see the turrets and then they just go around the outside, and then all of my barracks and then all my reactors are gone, and like, then all of a sudden there's like 300 lings at the front of my base, and I don't know, Zerg. That's all I got.
Clutch, thoughts on the Muta?
Mutas
Hey,
go
guys.
to hell.
Muta, go to hell. There's Diamond.
It's a good way to
Diamond.
end that
Hey, Diamond.
conversation.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going good. So Diamond has been on the show before. Of course, joining us here a little bit late because today was the first day of the Grand Prix that I was supposed to cast, but I came down with Terran flu. Group A, EVT, and got a little sick. But Simpatico, who knows Terran way better than I do, and is a phenomenal caster, did a good job filling in, I believe. Also ran all the production today and did the obsing because he's a beast like that with Wombat. But I will be back tomorrow, I promise. Had some stuff I had to wrap up on the VOD end of things as well. That's a lie. It just sounds better, so Diamond doesn't matter. And I had important community casting shit I had organized for MLG for Rumpf that I got done yesterday. So
You were casting for the president. It's okay, Tumble. We know.
Yeah. So, Diamond, the day is done. I know it's probably been a long day for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on the show here. How did it go today, man?
It's going good. There's still 2 streams going at the moment, although I think the second one just finished. But yeah, it went really good. I'm very happy how it turned out. Running 4 streams is a pretty scary prospect, on the admin side. I got running 1 stream down pretty good, but tripling that and 3 more, I was like, ooh, and ran really smooth.
Ooh.
Everything went great.
Ooh is a good way to put it because
Yeah, I wish like I had that.
Yeah. Jeez,
Yeah,
I saw like ESV stream 1 had like 6 or 7,000 viewers.
Yeah,
Just
we
like,
were
holy shit.
we were staying between the streams between like 7 and 9K most of the day. So
that's good.
pretty
I
good,
kind
man.
of feel like people just go to stream 1 because it's first.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it's like 1. Because there were some great games, like Robin and Froden were casting some great. I mean, all of them had great games. So, guys, check out the different streams, man. Check out 2, 3, and 4. It's no different. It's just a name, really. The games, though, be sure to check out. There are other streams, and Diamond went ahead and put all this work and effort. And man, these guys are busting their ass with the production, trying to get everything, and they're going into maps. And man, it's such a great thing. I feel like really, Diamond, you're able to achieve something that I think IPL or MLG could be proud of, to be honest. And I'm not just blowing smoke. I legit mean that, and anybody in this chat will tell you that, because I would say it sucked if it sucked. But
I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, I mean, so take us in a little bit about, for those that don't know, the Korean Weekly and how the Grand Prix, rather, has sort of spawned and came about. But talk first about the Korean Weekly. What is the Korean Weekly?
Korean Weekly is, well, I gotta be honest, the name is pretty on point for it. It's a StarCraft 2 tournament. It's hosted on the Korean server at Korean times. It doesn't ever conflict with the GSL or GTSL or any of those big leagues in Korea. And it's it was basically the first weekly tournament in Korea, which was something at the time that wasn't done. You played into GSL or you didn't. That was it. So,
Right.
I was talking to Torch a lot of the time when we created, and he said they were solely lacking weekly tournaments. I'm like, well, there's 8 million North American weekly tournaments and 0 Korean. Seems like it'd be hard to run, but hell, let's give this a try. And it sure as hell was hard to run and hard to get up and running. It took months of planning. But now it's just been going for so long, and it's basically becoming the launching platform for all the Korean, the lower Koreans, as far as Code B, Code A players. You're seeing guys that are in Code S now and doing very well that came from the weekly. I mean, the last GSL champion, Jockji, was basically a nobody, and he won the Korean Weekly Grand Finals #1 out of nowhere. And then,
it looks like a lot of the foreign the foreign teams that pick up Koreans usually pick them up out of players who are really good in the Korean Weekly as well.
Yeah,
That's just one thing I noticed.
We talked about this when Diamond was on first. It's so very entertaining because I'm interested in. I want to know what's going on in Code C, whatever you want to call it. Well, let's call it the Korean Week because that's what it is, man. This is where you can go to see these new Koreans coming up in the scene that you're gonna eventually see in A and S. So that's why I get psyched about it myself. And you know what? A lot of other people are too, though, because your viewership is rivaling MLG for their qualifiers, right? For Arena,
right? Yeah,
and passing them in some regards as well. So, it's very, very successful. So congratulations on your success thus far. Clutch, being that you're an esports figurehead, you were going to say something. I cut you off. Go ahead, buddy.
I was. No problem. I think it's great, too, that we all love the GSL here, but we can't watch it due to our schedules. So any exposure of any Korean or European players that we get to see here in North America is fantastic. And yeah, they may be a little bit minor leagues. Some of the kids are up and comers, but it's great to see that because, like you said, you can say, "Hey, I watched that guy in the Grand Prix, and now he's GSL Code A, and now he's coming to Anaheim this year in 2012. I'm going. I'm buying a ticket." There's more money into esports just because of that. So I think it's a great program.
Yep.
So
Thank you.
we're going to get into the maps a little bit, but we've been kissing your ass the whole time, and I'm going to get into a question that a lot of people ask me.
Sure.
And don't worry, Sundance, we're going to peg him too. I got a lot of hard questions on a scale of
Phrasing.
On a scale of awesome to super awesome. How good is MLG? Will be one of the questions. Yeah, I'm coming with hard hitting ones for Sundance. I got hard hitting ones. You remember I said that? That'll be the first question I ask him. But Diamond, what was with Group A? And let me explain something about Group A.
I'm sorry, what was that? It cut out a minute.
What's with Group A?
Why is Group A all TVT? Why didn't you put some of those Terran? Because people were asking why, and I said, you know what? We'll ask Diamond. He'll give an honest answer.
Yeah.
Why weren't some of the Terran in some of the later groups?
Well, first of all, any of the normal groups, we randomized it. I don't ever handpick groups. I don't ever handpick brackets just to prevent any favoritism or, any accounts of rigging it. However, in the case of the Taja group, there was a new rule put in this season. If you win multiple weeklies, you get to pick your group as a reward. And after Taja picked the all-TVT group, I think I'm going to look at a different angle to try and reward them. I thought it'd be a lot of these guys are very, very big competitors, and they'll pick hard matches. They'll say, okay, these are the tough guys. I want them all in my group, and that was the concept. Tajan played it 100% right and picked the weaker of the group. He really wants to win. He does want to beat the best, but in the same token, he took the smart route and said, hey, my TVT is really good right now. I'm feeling comfortable in it. I'm going to pick the 3 weakest Terrans I find.